Bonjour, madame and monsieur. Or good evening, everyone, and welcome along to League Racing TV. We are here tonight for TML F1. It is Season 9, it's Round 5 of the Championship as we take in the French Grand Prix from, of course, Le Castellet in France. My name is James Head. I'm going to be taking to the stream, of course, as always, on this fine Thursday evening. Hope you all doing well, and joining me in the commentary box, as always, it is Mr. Ivor Bryn Mike. Ivor, how you doing?
I am doing fantastic. Of course, we are here once again for F1, and it's going to be another fantastic race. France really does throw up a lot of cracking races, and I think we're going to be in for another one here tonight.
Yeah, definitely so. I think it is going to be really interesting in terms of the racing. We should have better racing than what we did in EML Premier 1, certainly from a certain French team who I'm not going to mention on the channel because they literally came into my DMs last night and said, you're supposed to be a commentator, but you're supposed to be neutral. But I can't be neutral when there's bad driving on hand, so that's why I had to obviously say what I said last night in Email Premier 1. Go and watch it back if you don't know what I'm on about. Go and watch it back, of course, from last week, from last night even, and of course from last week. Tom is back once again, I believe. We've got Tam, Tom. We haven't got Tim, unfortunately. Tim is not racing, I know for a fine fact as well. But we are waiting on drivers, of course, to move cars. Stenroos, if you are watching the stream, Ferrari is not yours, my friend. It is Jona's. And Jona, of course, is a full-time reserve in that car. And yeah, Stenroos, Aston Martin is available. So if he does want to take that, then he can. If not, then might be the case where we might have to kick him out and then he doesn't get a seat, which is not what we want to do. But if he's not there and he's not listening, then obviously it's a different thing. However, though, coming into the championship standings, coming into tonight as well, I've literally posted the championship standings. I hope they're right in terms a couple of seconds ago, so hopefully they are right in terms of their nature. Felix leads the way on 73 points. Yes, his points are now correct. Links in second on 72 points, with Jensen in third on 60, Comentus in fourth on 58, Tom in fifth on 56, along with Andreas also in sixth on 56, Chris in seventh on 45, Tom in eighth on 38, Blackbox in ninth on 35, and Stenroos in 10th, who is a reserve driver. He's there in 10th on 34 points. And Mike coming, of course, into tonight. Felix now leading the way by 1 point into the championship. Links there in second, Jensen third. But the big talking point last week was Denzo picked up a 5-second penalty, I think, for a collision in the race.
Yeah, picking up that 5-second time penalty, and that really did cost him towards the end of the race. So, of course, we did see an absolute cracker from full wets to intermediates to dries. And it definitely threw up a lot of spanners in the works. And in my opinion, the big talking points were both of the Shazoo drivers DNFing.
Yeah, both of the Shazoo drivers DNFing indeed. Stenroos has now moved car, which I'm delighted to report. Means we should be getting going once again. Jensen, however, is not going to be racing for much of this season now, because I received messages a little bit earlier on saying that he was going to be working in the future. So congratulations to Jensen for picking up, I think he was doing an apprenticeship, so I think he's going into his first full-time job. So congratulations to Jensen. He is coming back in other leagues as well, so don't worry about that. And unfortunately, he is not going to be racing for the majority of this season. There will be off occasions, of course, that he does come back. Jensen, though, of course, former champion here in TML F1. It's a bit of a shame, but it opens up opportunities for the likes of Jerry, for the likes of course, Black Box to try and take the fight, of course, toward the top end of the field. Denzo, of course, in there in the Alfa Romeo. Looks like we are good to go, so everyone can now ready up, of course, in the chat. Felix, though, is out on top, and I did check that his points was correct, and I know for a fine fact I did it straight after the race last week, and I did remove 10 points of his total, so we should be on 73 and not 83, which he would have been. But there we are. People are going to argue about that until the cats come home, quite literally. So, obviously, I will check once again. We've got a break week next week, so I'm definitely going to check the standings going into next week as well. Of course, so, Mike, we come here to Le Castellet in France. I would be showing you a fancy track map, of course, at this point. If you're wondering why I haven't got OBS tonight, I've got an audio issue on my laptop, which I think I'm going to have to roll the audio driver back, which is not great. But, Paul Ricard, of course, 5.8 kilometres and then 3.6 mile, 26 or 27 7 laps, I think, awaiting the drivers out on track. 2 DRS zones definitely waiting the drivers out on track, though. 1 down the start-finish straight in towards Turn 1, and then 1 down the Mistral straight into the chicane nord at turns 8 and 9. And Mike, this is about 500 different variations of this track. This Grand Prix layout, though, is the testing layout that they've used, of course, in the past when the F1 cars are being tested. Lynx has left the session, hopefully he can get back in. And that means we should see a lot of good overtaking and a lot of good racing out on track as well, even though the curbs are deadly around here.
Yeah, especially down the Minshall Street, I believe you said it was. Yep. I'm terrible with pronunciations, guys, so please forgive me on that. Definitely going to be some overtakes down there, but also the run into the flat right-hander, I believe is, off the top of my head, I have to think, I believe it's turn 10 off the top of my head.
The flat right-hander, yeah, turn 10.
You see, guys, I didn't even need a track map. I'm good.
I'm glad. I'm really glad. Looking anyways, Lynx has had a disconnect, by the way, and there's also a bit of controversy because Tom apparently is in the Alpine, but he's not meant to be. However, MedTC isn't here, so that's why I think he's in the Alpine. MedTC, of course, not attending. He's full-time, Tom isn't, and therefore Tom is there in 9th. I think, actually, I need to update that driver line, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's probably my doing, but he is in Alpine. I can confirm that definitely in terms of the action, certainly off track rather than on track. As we've got the first Aston Martin coming out of the pit lane is Mr. Stenroos, the Finn, of course, formerly of TML F2, now of course in TML F1 as a reserve driver, and he has chosen the Aston Martin for his exploits here tonight, and the Finn will be looking to try and get on track with some really good results.
Yeah, and he definitely has the pace for some very good results as well. I mean, we saw he was doing a fine job in Austria last time out, and I believe he was doing a very fine job in Spain as well.
Yeah, he definitely did do a good job in Spain as well. Was up there in terms of the pace. Obviously not going to be up towards the top end of the field like we expect the likes of Jerry to be, and the likes of Carmentalist to be, and the likes of Lynx to be as well. But Stenroos is a very consistent driver on his day. He likes to give a lot of respect out on track as well, so that should promote good overtaking, especially when drivers are one-on-one with him out on track. Jerry is the second man out on track there as well, and the other Aston Martin, formerly, of course, a full-time McLaren. He hasn't attended any races this season, so this is the first chance, of course, we get to see Jerry in there in 10th position, and Stenroos, of course, is going to be the first man out on track. While I, of course, have a look and see who's out on track as well. Mike, do you want to take us through this lap while I reply to Carl Mentalist, who was in my DMs?
Yep, I shall take you on the lap with Stern Ross. I tried to get all the names and corners correct, but we shall go on board with Stern Ross as he comes through the final corner, gets his lap underway, looking for a good exit here. Gets a decent run, DRS wide open as he climbs up through the gears and heads down, starting straight in towards turn number 1. Very easy to cut the inside, and as we go through turn 2, very easy to get a little bit too much onto the curb and spin it, but also very easy to drift out wide and lose it there as we go into the tricky complex of 3, 4, 5, 6 and through turn 7, the little kink by here, turn 7, and Ross does fantastic there as he has DRS wide open once again all the way down in towards the chicane nor as breaking down. How much curve does he take on entry? He does take quite a lot of curve, but it's all about the traction on the exit, and he gets some decent traction as Tom gets a 5-place grid penalty for a collision with Harry B. So Tom already under pressure as we go for the flat out turn 10, smooth as you like, and now in towards turn 11, a very tricky corner to get right. It's all about the exit there as we go in towards turn number 12. Also a very difficult one, especially if you touch the inside curve. Now into the final few corners, into the penultimate corner now. A little bit of a late apex there for Stern Ross, and he's going to come through to finish the first flying lap of the session. And what is it going to be? It's going to be a 1:30.7.
Yeah, not a bad lap there at all from Sten Reese. We should see toward the 29s, I think, definitely in the session as we go through. I know Jerry was second up on a lap. I believe he is coming through the final couple of corners now at turn number 15 through Pont Corner at turn 15. Now on the run towards the line goes Jerry. Should be quicker than Sten Reese, you'd imagine. And he goes by 5/10 per second. 30.2, very good lap from him. Sten Reese there in second. Andres currently in third. Of course, a 5-place grid penalty with Harry.
Won.
As Felix now goes quickest with a 29.999. Hopefully that's not the numbers he'll be ringing certainly at the end of tonight. Black Box though is back after his exams, of course, his mocks that he was doing in the last 2 weeks. He is back tonight and he's now back on provisional pole for now.
Yeah, I wonder if also, not only with the exams that Black Box has been doing, I wonder if he's been examining France, knowing that this will be his first race back, and looks like he's on it here tonight.
He is on it indeed as he now comes through, of course, the right hand with 6 and 7. But Black Box out on top, Felix there in second, Jerry there in third. There is a full-time Red Bull seat, by the way, that is now available if anybody does want to try and come in. Yona, by the way, goes 4th, 30.4. He's had a bit of wretched luck around here in the past. I certainly remember from TML F2 when he actually won the championship that season. He, I believe, was on a set of, it was dries, and then it went to inters, and he was still out on the dry compound tyre, thinking that the rain was going to end. The rain didn't before the end of the race, and he ended up 2 laps down, and I think crashing out the race as well. So Yona down and forward. Hopefully we'll be hoping for better luck around here in France, and he's certainly going to be hoping, I'm sure, for better results as the time, of course, will go on in this session. Black Box though out on top, Felix there in second, Jerry there in third. At the moment, Tom, by the way, is in the wrong car. He's meant to be in the Alfa Romeo. Vajaku, I think, has taken the Alfa Romeo seat, which Tom was meant to be in. So that's why he's in Alpine. So, a little bit of a misfit there. In the break week, though, I'm going to sort everything out. Of course, there's going to be maybe a new procedure for reserves in selecting their cars. Of course, seeing who is unavailable on that particular week. And then, of course, they'll be offered that probably around 7 o'clock, I would think, about an hour before the race. I think that'll be much fairer to do, rather than, of course, have the absolute mess that we've got at the minute.
Yeah, as I believe, who was our comment list up into 5th there, as Andreas improves on his time and goes up into 3rd.
He does indeed. Harry Banks, I think, is just on a run, I believe, coming through the right-hander of turn number 11, then into the left-hander of turn number 12, which can catch quite a lot of people out. Harry Banks coming through turn number 12, of course, former TML F1 champion as well. We've got a number of TML F1 champions formerly in this. And Harry Banks is on another lap, so he is coming through the final couple of corners. Believes that he is obviously going to improve on this run. Through the final corners on the run to the line. I have a feeling he's not actually improved by that much. But Black Box out on top, Felix there in second, Andreas there in third, Harry Banks there, 1.1 seconds off. I think he was actually just preparing up for a lap as he now comes down in towards turns 1 and 2. Flicks the car through turn 2, flicks the car too much through turn 2, does a full 360, takes the bollard with him. Unfortunately, Harry Banks not going to be improving on that lap.
Yep, unfortunately for Harry, I'm currently on board with Tom, who's currently down in 14th. He's on a set of the medium compound tyres, so it'll be interesting just to see where his pace is at and if he can get ahead of quite a few of these soft runners up ahead of him.
Yeah, definitely so indeed. A link saying if we've got to stay behind the white line, the whole white line for pit entry, guessing it's the same as Austria? Yes, it is. It is the same as Austria. As long as everyone goes within the white line, it shouldn't be too bad. Of course, if they stray out of the track limits, then, of course, penalties will be given for pit entries and exits, which haven't really been getting covered as opposed to previous seasons. Tom, though, was on a good lap now, coming through this final sector, coming through the left-hand with turn number 12. Black Box still out on top, Felix there in second, Andreas there in third, with just the 9 minutes to go and qualify, nearly halfway through in this qualifying session. Tom now coming through the final couple of corners. Mediums, by the way, if you're wondering in terms of potential improvements, I think they're around a second to 1.2 seconds off around here as Tom now comes to the line and demonstrates that's a really good effect. 1.4 seconds off in the end. He will improve, obviously, in terms of the times, 31.3, and that is a new definition of track limits.
Yes, I think Tom might have thought that he was Dora the Explorer there, because he was definitely exploring some track limits right there.
I think he was. He's down there in 9th position. Dental, by the way, he's up in the middle sector. 50.2 in the middle sector. He's currently down in 13th position. I was going to say he was in 12th. However, Delphi, I believe, has just improved up to 5th. So good luck there from him. Sammy there down in 14th as well. He's coming through the final couple of corners, I believe, just to set up on a run. Or is he back in the pits? Yeah, he's back in the pit lane. Unfortunate for Samu. Dental, though, coming through the final couple of corners, of course, back down in P6 in the end as a result of a 5-second penalty that was awarded to him by the stewards last week, so he got put in 6th position. Did do the standings right, by the way, because I actually factored in the penalty before putting the results in, which is really good. As Dental now comes to the line, he goes 5th, 30.3, good lap there, on a fresh set of soft compound tyre. Felix, though, on a lap. Black Box also just done up on a run as well, and Felix actually 400ths of a second up through the first sector, now coming into the middle sector split.
Yeah, I'm currently on board with Kaya as he's coming through the final corner to get his lap underway. I thought he was just finishing a lap, but I guess the game...
Oh, Felix! Felix loses it. Sorry to cut you off, Mike. He just loses it there, coming out of the right-hander turn number 10. That flat right-hander coming out of turn number 10. He's got caught too much on the inside curve. Basically, the car has just flung off the centre of the corner, then gone out wide. Luckily, no walls there or anything. Not like a Charles Leclerc sort of incident, of course, around here in 2022. But Felix there in second. Jerry now goes third as well. Really good improvement from him. Has shown good pace around here before in WR and in PSGL as well. So he'll be looking to try and go towards the top end of the field. But it's Black Box out in front, Felix in second, Jerry in third. Black Box is fine through turn number 10. I'm not sure if he's actually improving on this run. I'll try and get up his middle sector split, but I can't. But the McLaren now coming in towards turn 12 anyways, and he does look good on this lap.
Yeah, coming through turn 12. That's a little bit of traffic up ahead of him, so you want to hope that that car stays out of the way and hope that he doesn't get any dirty air from the Alfa Romeo up ahead, but seems okay, and he's going to come to the line now. Is this going to be an improvement for Black Box?
Easy.
I'm trying to easy.
Yeah, easy, because I thought, honestly, the stop-finish line was a little bit back, so that's why I was thinking he's going to improve easy. But in the end, 400's improvement. It's still an easy improvement anyways. He's improved nonetheless. So Black Box out on top now. Still, with Felix in second, Jerry there in third. Also improvements further up the field. Yona has gone 7th. Commensalus as well is improving through the first sector. He's actually invalidated though through the first sector split. 900's down, 900's up I should say, through that first sector. Lynx was going quite quickly in the middle sector. He's also invalidated coming out of turn 11 I think.
Yeah, I was on board with Andreas. He was a 10th lap in the first sector, and he ended up invalidating at the chicane. He's had to abort that lap now. I think the Jakku is the only one on a valid lap right now.
Yeah, the Maltese man now coming through, of course, now full-time reserve in TML F1. He comes through now the left-hander of turn number 12. If by the way, you are tuning in as well and expecting TML F2, really big snap of oversteer there coming out of turn number 12. If you are expecting TML F2, by the way, with me and Mike tomorrow, unfortunately, one half of the partnership is not going to be there because I've been called up to do WR again. Which Mike, I'm guessing, is not happy with. Now that he knows live on stream.
I mean, I'm not happy.
No, it's a really good opportunity for me, certainly. It is, as opposed to last week, it's lead comms for WR tomorrow, so I am going to be doing that for console. Sergeant Cake has retired out of the session, and he's got a qualifying ban. I've just actually clicked on that because I think it was put in a separate report. But Sergeant Cake was, I'm pretty sure, given a qualifying ban. Or was he? Or am I just making that up? I think I'm making that up, but still.
Potentially, as I'm on board with Samu VDM as he's coming through now the final sector. He hasn't got a lap on the board yet, so this one has to be a valid lap. As he comes up a little bit of traffic up ahead, could be a little bit off-putting as he comes into turn number 12, but doesn't look like it's putting him off at all. What is this going to be for the man in the Mercedes in the penultimate corner now?
Yeah, not look. It's not looking too bad. Dalfi, by the way, 130.4, so if that's had time to aim for with his teammates, that'll be there or thereabouts. He might just go there or thereabouts as well, and he does, right behind him. But how about that? Sammy there in 7th, 30.471, 300ths of a second behind his teammate. Not a bad lap there at all. Currently, though, Black Box in the lead from Felix in 2nd, Jerry in 3rd with 4 minutes ago, just under now, 4 minutes ago left in the session. Tom, by the way, I think went on Trisetta soft compound tyres, however, is invalidated coming back into the pit lane, which he has just about managed to do. Don't know what he was doing there, Tom. From Tom to Tam crossing the line, he goes 8th with a 130.485, so very close actually between Denzo and all the way down to Sten Roos, in fact, about a 10th and a half, covering the 6 or 7 drivers in that mix. So Denzo there in 5th, Dalfi 6th, Sam in 7th, Tam with that lap now in 8th, Yona there in 9th, and Yona, I believe, is just setting up onto one as well. Former French specialist, of course, after his last race around here in TML F2. Hopefully we'll be hoping for better as he now comes down toward the right-hand return number 3.
Yeah, as we got Dalfi, who is up on his time, so this could be a big improvement here as he comes to the line. Is he going to be able to challenge Black Box?
Ooh!
Or he gets up in the 3rd.
3rd and ahead of Jerry. I think he'll take that, to be honest, from his perspective. Yona, by the way, is just backed off his lap. Was purple in the 1st sector. However, it's just spun coming out of turn number 6, which is not that great. It is an easy curb to get caught on. You overtake the car coming out of there. You've got absolutely no chance, my friend, as Yona there down in 9th. Tam there in 8th. Currently there is doing a good job. I believe Felix is just starting up on a run as well. The Red Bull coming down into the right-hander of turn number 3. Black Box still out on top. Felix in 2nd. And Felix now has to really try and, I think, try and outdo the former TML champion, or the defending TML champion, in fact, in Black Box. Felix, though, up through the 1st sector. Big squirrely coming out of 6. Now down the Mistral straight in towards the chicane Nord at turns 8 and 9. And this so far has not looked too bad at all from Felix. But it's Black Box out on top. Felix there in 2nd. Dalfi there in 3rd. And Felix now embarks on the chicane Nord, beautifully rounding the inside curb. Now rides the inside curb once again out of turn number 9. Now up the hill and towards turn number 10. And this is not looking too bad at all, as the newly crowned PSGL F2 champion is in the comment section.
Things you'd love to see. Congratulations on your championship, mate.
And that's full of Kongan, of course. It is. It's full of Kongan. Which to my surprise is like, how's he got a PSGL F2 title? I know, exactly the same. I think there's 4 drivers in the championship fight. I think all 4 of them were leading at some point in that 28-lap race that we covered last week, on Monday even, in PSGL F2. It's been a long week. Felix, though, coming through the final couple of corners on the run toward the line. Dalfi's retired in the pit lane. He is not done. He is done in terms of his runs. Felix onto the line. He does improve, but he doesn't go quickest. Only 0.008 of a second off. Jerry is just starting up on a run. Andres is coming through the final sector as well. He's just starting up on a run, I believe, as well. But Black Box out on top. Felix in 2nd, Dalfi in 3rd. And if there's any man that's going to try and knock them off, I think it's this man here in 4th, Jerry, who is normally quite quick around this track. He needs to try and prove me right here, because through the 1st sector split, is he purple? 22.2 is quick, but it's not quick enough in the 1st sector.
Yeah, and we'll see. Jerry now needs to pull this back in the middle of the final sector, so we'll see if he can do it. I'm on board with Andreas, the man in 5th place, so I'll keep you updated on what he's doing in behind.
Yeah, he's about 10 seconds behind on track, so we'll cut to, of course, Andreas after Jerry's lap. Jerry now in the middle sector, 49.7, he's up, a 10th and a half up nearly in the middle sector. So if he tries to find another 10th of a second, I think he's more geared to the corners rather than a straight line speed setup, which is where you want to be around this track. Jerry now coming to the right hand of turn 11 and really gets caught on the outside curb. It's too much on the outside curb. That is him round, and Jerry unfortunately is not going to be improving. Andreas is going to be next up through that part of the track as well. I think Denzo actually is on a lap through the 1st sector for Jaku, also on a run coming through that final sector, as now Andreas comes through the left-hander of turn number 12. Still Black Box out on top, still Felix in 2nd, and still Dalfi there in 3rd, as Sten Roos goes 6th. Good lap right there from him in the Finn, from the Finn I should say, as Andreas now, the Norwegian, comes through the final couple of corners. The TNR man, who's been very consistent since making that step up to F1, now on the run to the line. Is he going to go quickest? But Jaku goes 3rd. Great lap from him. Andreas goes 4th, and Black Box is 400 hundredths of a second up through the middle sector. So Black Box now, hoping to try and improve. Denzo, I don't believe, is on a good run. 50.1 in the middle sector is a bit off in the middle. But Black Box now coming through turn number 12. He looks to be on pole as Lynx goes 7th. Good lap there from him. Commentus there in 9th as well. He improved on his lap. But Black Box now, through the final couple of corners, the defending champion in TML F1 comes through the final corner at Pont on the run toward the line. Is he going to go quicker than Felix? Is he going to go quicker than his own time on the run to the line? Oh, he does. He smashes it. 29.7. Big improvement in that final sector. And that is the Black Box we like to know. Back from his mock exams. Tam, as you mentioned, is off a lap as well. Denzo invalidating, crossing the line. Would have been a 30.2. Would have put him into 8th position. But Black Box in the end is out on top from Felix there in 2nd. Vajaku in 3rd. All we can say, welcome back, Black Box.
Yeah, Black Box, I think the 2-week break he's had doing his mock exams has helped him out. Bit of a refresh and comes here absolutely smashing it qualifying.
Yeah, and to be honest, and I'm just going to ruin the pun as Tam has left the session, I'm just going to ruin this with a pun. He has absolutely made a mockery of the field. Terrible. Black Box out on top from Felix in 2nd. Vajaku there in 3rd. Big surprise. He normally is quite quick. I saw a race around him, and this is why the sole reason he was placed actually as a full-time driver in F1. Saw a race around here, dominated from the front, and the Maltese man, the dual Maltese champion, of course, there in 3rd. Andres there in 4th. Dalfi there in 5th. Jerry there in 6th. Watch out for him in the race, along with Lynx in 7th. They might work together, potentially. Stenry in 8th, Commentus 9th. Denzo out of the top 10. He is going to be started, I'm sure, on that 10 medium compound tyre. Samu in 11th, Tam in 12th. Hopefully he can get back in. Yona 13th, Tom in 14th. However, with the 5-second penalty, he's actually down at the back of the field. Kaya, Harry, Blacks, and Sergeant Cake, who didn't actually get a run in, they all jump ahead. And, of course, he starts right down at the back of the field. Yellow Geeson saying he is rooting for Jerry, his fellow countryman. Black's also saying he screwed up his lap as well, and hopefully Jerry can clinch a podium. I'm hoping so, because he would have been my favourite, I think, for pole around here.
I have no idea who to back for this race. It was incredibly close in qualifying, and if it... Oh! Okay, right. I'm rubbing my hands together. I'm excited. I was going to leave the party after James made his mockery pun, but I can get over it with this whatever condition right now.
Yeah, definitely so. I've just had a message from Tam, by the way. He has had to go. His son, unfortunately, needs to be rushed to hospital. Not sure what's going on there, but hopefully everything is okay. He's going to be in our prayers and our thoughts. I'm absolutely sure. Hopefully it's nothing too serious, and hopefully he will be back to obviously race next week first and foremost, and also of course I hope his son does get better. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. As I say, it is awful when that happens, and of course full-time and real life takes first priority over everything. So Tom, hopefully everything is okay. Further lights though going out here in France for round number 5 of the championship. Nearly forgot what round it was there. Round 5 and it's lights out and away we go. And Black Box gets a really strong start. Felix off the line as well is very good, and it's actually 4 wide in the background. It's Delphi, Lynx, Jerry all cascade their way down and towards turn 1. Stead Roos is down the inside line as well, and he's actually been contacted there, I think, by Delphi. All sorts of carnage coming through turn number 1, and there's 5 cars in a collision. Jerry's been caught up in a collision with Vajaku, unfortunately, and Andres got caught up in that as well. Yona got caught up in that at some point. Black Box though leads the way from Felix in 2nd, Lynx in 3rd, and honestly these guys, I don't know what's going on. It's more like dodgems at this stage in the background, as Blacks and Tom I think got caught up on each other as well. Tam there in 12th position doing a good job, but Black Box leads the way. Felix in 2nd, up the front end of the field, nothing really concerned about. Further down the field, absolute mayhem.
Yeah, absolute carnage early on in this race, and I think a little bit decent to the rest of the lobby because I'm seeing a lot of ghosting going on.
You're seeing a lot of ghosting, you're lagging a little bit on my end as well, so I'm not sure it might be your internet cutting out. Hopefully it doesn't, hopefully it's not like last week, and it doesn't, hopefully it just kicks back in, Mick McCarthy touch and all of that. But Black Box leads the way from Felix in second as Jerry gets the inside of Blacks in towards turn number 10 and gets the job done, but he's got front wing damage quite visibly on that car. I think it's the right side end plate potentially that he has got damage on. It's certainly damage regardless, and he might have to come in the pit lane if it is serious enough. Black Box still leads the way. Felix there in second, Links there in third, and at the end of lap 1, Black Box is 0.8 per second away from Felix, and in the end, no assist drivers got the better start, it seems. Felix, of course, on the line, there in second. He will stick with him, but Black Box is Black Box at the end there. He's the defending champion, as Yona was through, and Harry Banks, I think, in the background shot as well. He's up into 9th, and Black Box leads the way at the end of lap 1.
Yeah, as Andreas, he's into the pits and he's retired immediately, so I'm not a big fan of that, as Jerry just sends one down the inside of Vajaku there for P13, so Jerry's not messing around, he's trying to get himself back into this race as Stern Ross down the inside of Jonah for P9, so he's moving up the order now.
Yeah, he is, he got caught up in that collision, of course, was spun, and how is he 9th? That second bit of carnage, I think, really caught everyone out. As Stenry, as you say, is through and he's into 9th. Yona there in 10th. And Yaron was saying in the chat as well that the track does dry up quick. Yes, it does. It does dry up very quick indeed. Tam passing Tom. Not the battle we want to see, but Tam trying to get the overtake on Tom, his teammate, down toward the right-hander, or the left-hander, I should say, turns 8 and 9. But Black Box leading the way. Felix there in second. Links there in third. Good run out by Yona as well on the back end, on the back of Stenroos running up the hill. Potentially going to try and get the job done, but he is not. And Black Box still leads from Felix in second. As there was a car very out wide, even wider was Samu. I think it was the two Mercedes, or was it Kaya and Samu, I think, who ran up very wide there. Both of them just got about away with it. Commensal still on the back of Links for third is looking quite spicy as well.
Yeah, I think is potentially I may end up disconnecting. The voice is cutting out quite a bit for me right now. I'm tempted to do a quick internet reset on the PlayStation if you want to take for the action, as Jerry actually goes into the back of Sergeant Cake for the penultimate corner, so I'm glad I was still here for that bit of action, but yeah, I think I might have to do a quick internet reset.
Yeah, go ahead, Jerry, just giving them the weave on there as well. Sergeant Cake and Vajaku now side by side, running down the straight in towards turn number 1. And Vajaku, the Maltese man, is through on Sergeant Cake. Sergeant Cake might get the switchback actually out of turn number 1. Andres has left the session there as well. And Mike has obviously left the session as well. Hopefully he will be back very soon indeed. But Black Box leads away. Felix in second, Links there in third. Sergeant Cake, I think, has got damage potentially on that car. He's certainly struggling through the first couple of corners there. But Black Box still leading the way. Denzel, though, out of nowhere is coming on the back of Carl Menster. Is going to try and do an RKO out of nowhere, perhaps in towards turns 8 and 9. This is not looking too bad at all from Denzel's perspective. Looks the outside line. In the end, Commenter's defends, and he defends there in 4th position. Denzel there in 5th, Kaya there in 6th, Dalfi there in 7th, and Dalfi run on the back as well of Kaya. Kaya, of course, now a reserve driver, was meant to be a full-time driver as well. He's now reserve, of course, with the change around from the merge of F1 and F2. Dalfi though on the back of Kaya, not getting the job done there, and again really trying to catch, as I can't check with Mike because of a network error. That's why you're seeing a black box there on the left hand side, and that's why you're seeing a black box out in front as well. Very neatly done there from me. Black box leads the way, Felix in second, Links there in third. Everyone now settling down. Of course that lap 1 carnage will be investigated by the stewards. I'm sure there will be quite a number of stewards reports potentially out on track, as well as Vajaku was back past him. Jerry, I think he's had a moment potentially coming out of turn number 12, and in the end, Sergeant Cake right on the back of him. Jerry's not making many friends out on track tonight. Let's hope he can make a friend in Vajaku, maybe to overtaking him down towards turn 1. He's simply not going to be close enough from that far back though, and in the end they run across the line to start lap number 4, but Black Box leads away. Felix there in second, Links there currently in third. Commences in 4th, Denzel in 5th, Kaya in 6th, Dalfi 7th, Samu in 8th, Stenroos 9th, Yona top 10. Then Harry Banks in 11th, Vajaku 12th, Jerry 13th, and as soon as I said that, he's just spun, coming out of turn number 1. Sergeant Cake now 13th, Tom in 14th, Tam there in AI, of course, in 15th, Black's there in 16th, and Jerry has just spun, coming out of turn number 1. He's there down in 17th position. Bloodmania as well, saying in the chat, clear Black Box fan, saying Black Box does love the Inters. So does Felix the one though. Felix has got very good pace around here, did win an intermediate race in F2 early on in the season, I think it was Imola if I'm not mistaken, and Felix there in second, doing a good job on the back of Black Box. Once again, run up the hill, he's got 19% of ERS, 6% for Black Box. He's actually got more ERS, so you can actually attack him if he does want to. And the Red Bull, of course, obviously with Jensen now dropping down to a reserve, there is a full-time Red Bull seat, which will be snapped up, I'm absolutely sure, by one of our reserves in the coming days. Felix, though, on the back of Black Box, doing a good job. He's a one-man rocking band at this stage. Black picks up a 3-second penalty further down the field. The new QRT man, formerly of ECOS, of course, now part of the QRT team. Black Box still leading the way from Felix there in second, Lynx there in third, as the rain is definitely beginning to ease out on track. Certainly not stopped, but it's certainly easing out on track as we are already around 10 minutes through the race. And Felix sets the new fastest lap of the race to boot, as well as Tom is into the pit lane. Maybe this is for the transition onto the dry compound tyre, because off track it does look pretty bone dry on the right hand side, but a little bit of spray just been kicked off on Black Box. Oh, as Felix City goes into the back of him in towards turn number 3 and 4. Goodness me, he was late on the brakes there, but Black Box now really beginning to struggle, and Felix is all over the back of him. It's almost as if he's just entered the race at this point, and Black Box is just a no-hoper in a 5-lap open lobby. He is by far not a no-hoper, but Black Box still leads the way from Felix in second. But my God almighty, that was close. Stenreese as well on the back of Samu, who's looking quite close, running down the straight here in towards turn number 8 and 9, down in towards, of course, the chicane node. And as you can see on the left-hand side, Tom and Jerry have decided to come into the pit lane, set a medium compound tyres. The rain, I think, has now stopped out on track. We're judging by all the cloud cover over the circuit, it's going to take a little bit longer than necessary to dry out. Stenreese on the back of Samu, and that, I think, is Mike just snapping back into the session potentially. Stenreese, though, trying to go all the way around the outside of Samu at turn number 10. Now through the right-hand at turn number 11. Is he going to try and get the job done? Hung out to dry is Stenreese. Samu makes contact with him. To be fair, he was on the inside line, and Stenreese just absolutely dives it to the inside line. Beautiful switchback, though, by Samu. Great racing between them both. Samu there in 8, Stenreese in 9. They chop and change positions like a choppy, changey thing. Stenreese, though, into the pit lane. That is definitely getting investigated as a pit lane entry, and he will need to give that position on the race start as well. Denzel stays out. Everyone, though, coming into the pit lane, and that means everyone is going to be on a dry compound tyre. Probably a set of hards or a set of mediums towards the end of the race. Mike, are you back?
Yeah, I am back. I'm just rejoining the lobby now. Hopefully it's working better. My download speed has dipped tremendously, so that's probably why I was lagging out a bit.
Oh, that's okay. Hopefully, have you got an invite, by the way?
Yeah, I can join back through.
Good. It is pretty bone dry out on track. I dare not say it's really overcast and cloudy though still, and that is not going to bring about a real change up in the conditions. So everyone that's came in for set of hards, Black Box, Felix, Lynx, Commensalist, Stenreese, all on that set of hard compound tyre. Of course, Stenreese will be investigated as a result of that pit lane entry. Clear breach of the rules and regulations. If he tries to argue that one, then unfortunately it was caught on stream. But Black Box there on that set of hards, doing a good job. Felix there in 4th, and this is going to really bring about, I think, a real change-up. The mediums, of course, are going to be quicker short-term. Longer-term, however, as we're going to see, I think, Yona passing Stenreese down the straight here. Indeed he is, to the inside line. Turns 8 and 9 in towards the chicane node, and Yona into the braking zone, gets the job done. He's through and he's into 8th. Stenreese there down, into 9th, I should say. Will be 7th and 8th. DRS now enabled, and that means actually Denzo and Vajaku have gained a bit of time as a result of this, and that means they're going to be pretty much in a really favourable position toward the end of the race, as Denzel's already into the pits.
Yeah, I'm just loading back in. I'm on the loading screen now. I shall be with you momentarily.
Denzel and Vajaku, though, both into the pit lane. I wonder if Vajaku's actually going to get held up here in the pit lane. It is around a 28-29 second pit stop around here as well, so it's quite a long pit lane. Second longest pit lane, I think, in Formula 1 behind Silverstone, which is more than 30 seconds, of course. Denzel, though, coming out the pit lane. This is going to be close on race exit here. Jerry picks up a 3-second penalty, and Denzo could be out in the lead of the race here. Black Box goes past, though, so does Felix, and look at Denzo. He's there in third on a set of medium compounded tyres. Black Box goes deep in towards turn number 1 as well, but that is absolutely perfect from Denzo's eye. Vajaku coming out further down the field. He did get held up in the pit lane. He's out in clear air, though. He's down in 11th position coming out the pit lane. Denzo, though, under pressure from Lynx. Lynx is going to try and purr himself around the outside of turn number 6. Try to get the job done, but indeed doesn't. Black Box still leads. Felix in second, Denzo in third. Very, very overcast conditions, and Denzo now looking very, very costly, potentially on the back of Lynx, but look at the straight line speed, just pulls away, and look at the straight line speed of Felix. He attacks Black Box in towards the right-hand return number, left-hand return number 8, through the right-hand return number 9, and that is insane from Felix. Great stuff by the Red Bull man. He gets the race lead. Black Box though is going to try and come back at him all the way up towards turn number 10, and do you know what? He is. He's coming to the inside line, trying to get the job done in towards turn number 10. Phenomenal battling between them both. Wing mirrors apart coming out of turn number 10. Little bit of contact, nothing more, nothing less, and Black Box is still up the inside and towards turn 11. Great racing, and Felix, to be fair, gives him as much room as possible. Black Box off an up-camber corner was always going to go left. Commensals doing it into Kaya. Great battling between Felix and Black Box. That is the racing we want to see, and that is Felix out on top from Black Box in second. Great stuff.
Yeah, fantastic overtake there from Felix, and what this has done now is actually it's helped Denzo here, because obviously he needs a bit of time to warm up his
Here he
tyres.
comes. Black Box on the back of Felix again, down in towards turn number 1. There's a yellow flag in the middle sector. I think it's a Red Bull black, so that's fine, but Felix is still there on the inside line. How on earth he got that one done? And now Denzo's going to have a bit of the action as well. This is France racing at its finest. This is absolutely très excellent. Felix leads the way. Denzo in second, Black Box in third. Blacks, I think, is going to come into the pit lane, maybe to retire the car. He does indeed, with Felix in the lead. Denzo in second. And Black Box all of a sudden is down in third, and Denzel's going to go for the race lead on the back of Felix. Down the Mistral straight in towards the chicane. No, this should be quite easy without the DRS being used up, without the ERS being used up either. And it's simple for Denzel to the inside line. Gets the job done. It's only lap 8 out of 27. They don't want to give me a heart attack just yet.
Oh, as
Commenter spin
has gone in the back, and
I think Kaya might have caught the inside curb. He's picked up a 3-second penalty. I think he's caught the inside curb and then just not commented around there, perhaps.
Potentially. But right now, Denzo out on top on those mediums, and he needs to go.
Yona to the inside on it. Delphi gets the job done. Phenomenal stuff. This is absolutely insane racing. This is making me very, very smarty indeed. Denzel leads the way. Felix in second. Black Box in third. 7 cars now for the race lead after comments, of course, had been spun, I think, by Kaya. I'm not 100% confirming that whatsoever. That's just my inkling that I've got. But Denzel leads the way. Felix in second. Black Box in third. A third of the way through the race, and we're getting as much action as what we'll see in the next 18 laps.
Yeah, it's all kicked off here as the dry top compound tyres come on and everyone bunches back up once again. Kaya on the back of Lynx now. Is Kaya going to be thinking about putting a bit of pressure on the AlphaTauri up ahead as Jerry sets a new fastest lap. He's trying to get his way back into this race, of course, all the way down to 16th place. I don't know what happened to him while I was away, but he's trying to come back.
He is indeed. Yona on the back of Kaya as well, running down the straight. I think everyone's just going to sit maybe and relax now down the straight, and they are indeed. They're going to run line astern in towards turns 8 and 9. Jerry, by the way, had a spin coming out of turn number 1. That's why he's down there in 16th position. I think he came in as well on that side of medium compound. I basically got too much caught on the curb coming out of turn number 1. Spun the car around. He's down at the back of the field after a very disappointing start as well, from his perspective, certainly getting caught up in collisions. Denzel though leads the way from Felix there in second, Black Box in third, Lynx there in fourth, and everyone now beginning to have... And in fact, actually, Mike, I would say it's beginning to split apart a little bit, because Black Box now is the one under significant pressure. He's got more ERS than Felix, about 5% more. Got more ERS than Denzo. but he is just dropping back slightly. I wonder if his hards have not came into play just yet. I wonder maybe as well if he's got a little bit of existing damage, as Dalfi is back in the pit lane. Not sure why he's back in, but Dalfi is back into the pit lane anyways. And is this to retire the car, or is this daring to go on a set of maybe hard compounded tyres? Yeah, set of hards to the end of the race. Not a bad call, but then again, when the hard runners are ahead of him, it's not a good one either.
Yeah, and to be fair, he still had plenty of life left on those mediums to really stick it out, and you never know if a virtual safety car or safety car could come out, and that could mean that he either maintains his position or drops all the way back into last, as what he currently is right now. But
Yona to the inside line of Kaya, going to try and get the job done. Ferrari on the inside line, and he looks up in towards turn 8, but gets the job done anyways. Yona through, and he's into 5th. Kaya there in 6th, and now Kaya might have a run back at him in towards turn number 10. In fact, he doesn't, and Yona's got already on that ERS coming out of the corner just to try and draw a bit there out of Lynx as well. Top 2 leading the way, though, as Tam is overtaken, of course, by Jerry. Tam, of course, has to go. Not Tom, I should say. Tam was the one who had to go a little bit earlier on. Of course, his son being rushed to hospital. Hopefully everything is okay with him. But then Zolaire leads the way. Felix in 2nd, and the front 2. Black Box for the first time, just dipping outside of a second. He's just within a 2nd again. And Black Box has got to think like a Black Box at this stage, and got to think, where can he possibly make the moves? Where can he gain those extra tenths of a second? And he hasn't got DRS. I think Mike is, again, gone. I'm not sure.
I'm still here, but yeah, I'm getting robot voices and everything.
Oh, God.
It's not going good for me tonight, boys. It's not going good.
Not ideal at all. Not ideal at all. What's not ideal as well, Samu's under pressure from Commentist and Vajaku, so it could be a double threat potentially in terms of the racing, with Commentist there on the back of Samu in 8th, Commentist there in 9th, Vajaku there in 10th. Vajaku is made up good ground from his, of course, that lap 1 carnage a little bit earlier on. But now, Black Box once again within that DRS range is going to try and close in. Nobody's going to be close enough, though. I think Commentist, though, is going to be close enough. On the back of Samu, maybe down the straight, maybe up the hill and towards turn number 10. He's going to wait in behind for now. But the Hassman, who's been very consistent so far in recent races, he looks to try and outdo Samu. Maybe out the exit of turn number 9. Up the hill now in towards turn number 10. It's not going to go from that far back, certainly. And everyone is just remaining as they are at this stage. As Black Box thought went deep there. It was actually Lynx who went deep, and Lynx hangs on to 4th somehow. Yona was nearly around the outside of him there.
Jonah had a peek down the inside of Lynx in towards turn number 11. Lynx did give the room.
Oh no! No!
He's going to try around the outside.
No, never going to work. He's forced a mistake though, to be fair, and Yona might still have the run coming down in towards 1. Not like that though. Lynx has just absolutely floored it off the corner, and Lynx is there in 4th, Yona there in 5th. Go battling though. This is what we like to see, and this is now TML F1 fully ingrained with each other, and this is stunning racing so far from my perspective. Of course, lap 1. Forget about lap 1. Other than that, it has been worthy of a very good racing, and these guys do like to put on a show. That is what we are seeing at this point. It's Tentacles wide there coming out of turn number 6. Felix there being brought back into contention, around 7/10 of a second. Black Box is just within DRS range, I think, coming out. In fact, no, he is not. He doesn't pick up the DRS, so Black Box again, dipping outside of a second. He's got to use up his battery. Now he's quick down the straight. I think he's realising that his speed's got to get back into play. But when he's borderline a second, if I was in his shoes, I'd be wasting that battery weight just to get back within a buffer of Lynx behind and the Felix ahead.
Yeah, Black Box can't afford to drop any time here, and he's doing what I think was a smart move in trying to just keep with these guys and just.
Oh, he's Vajaku. Vajaku around the outside of Commentsless at turn number 10. This will be great. Commentsless to the inside line, defends the position, lean on each other slightly coming out of turn number 10, and now tries to go all the way around the outside of turn 11. He's got to be careful he doesn't contact with Samu. He's still around the outside of the Maltese man. Samu goes wide in the back, in the foreground of shot, and Commentsless now tries to go right around the outside. Vajaku in the end has to quickly recover the car coming into the braking zone of turn number 12, and in the end, what was looking like a really good battle has proven to be an absolute damn squib.
Yeah, as now commenters all over the back of Samu, and what I was going to say on the black box was he was doing an intelligent thing and just trying to save his ERS and everything, and just sticking the DRS train behind, but I think he's realised that he can't do that now. He has to use a bit, keep with these guys, and keep the pressure on.
Yeah, I'll say it now, and I don't mean it as comments as through on Samu, which I've literally just missed. I think Samu might have made a mistake coming out of turn 1. He just lost his position to Vajaku as well. I think Black Box doesn't want to get too cocky with his gaps that he's got. He's got 6.5 tenths to Lynx, which is perfectly fine. He's 8 tenths away from Felix, which is perfectly fine, but this was 2 laps ago. He was a second outside of DRS to Felix, and Felix was pulling away from him. Black Box has got very good straight line speed. So has Vajaku, by the way, down the straight in towards turn number 8. Gets the job done into P8, so he's back through. The sun is now beginning to break through the clouds, I think, as well. But yeah, back on board with Black Box. Felix has just made a mistake, I think, potentially. Black Box now 4 tenths away, and all of a sudden, Black Box is beginning to come back into play in this race. But as I say, he doesn't want to get too cocky with his strategy calls. He doesn't want to get too, basically, in his own head, thinking that he is good, thinking that, of course, he can get to the end on that compound tyre. And that's what he might be doing long term. He might be going, of course, on that sort of hard compound tyre to the end of the race.
Yeah, and Denzo has been pushing on his ERS because now he's broken up that 1 second window, and now Felix is going to be under pressure from Black Box in the end.
Yeah, and he was broken out of DRS, and here he comes, Black Box to the inside line at turn number 1, and Felix is just going to let that one go, surely. In the end, Black Box, a little bit forceful to the inside line. I think Felix had to be fair, had to go out wide just to try and make sure that the gap was given.
Okay,
There's a spinner Kaya out of turn number 1, that is, it was spun, or turn number 2, that is, that's actually spun. Kaya is facing the right way again, he's back going, no front wing damage, but Denzel's already away, he's on that DRS. 1.8 seconds now the gap, and now Felix is going to try and attack Black Box. Watch out for Lynx coming behind. Here comes Lynx on the back of Felix to the inside line. Black Box gives him that bit of a double toe, and to the inside line, he's just not risky enough to go for the move.
And you got Jonah in this as well. He's on the back sniffing an opportunity.
Oh, beautiful
as well.
exit.
Here comes Lynx.
Easy, easy. That is easy. Lynx is third, he's into third, and Felix gets absolutely caught out on the exit of turn number 9. Beautiful exit out of the chicane node, and Lynx is third and he's into third. And now, Mike, what happens here? Because the TF boys are together! Nearly! I was literally said that, and Lynx has just gone sideways out of turn number 11. He's lost the position to Felix. I was going to say they were together. Now they're not. I was going to say, would Black Box let Lynx through, and then Lynx can obviously gain on Black Box. But in the end, Lynx made his own mistake, and Yona's in the pits, clearly not getting those mediums to the end.
Yeah, he's in the pits, and the question is, what does he go on to now? Does he go on to another set of mediums if he has another set spare?
Yes.
That's what I would be thinking, and he does.
He does indeed. Kai is into the pit lane now as well, so not sure if he's got maybe a little bit of damage potentially on the car after that spin. I think he was fine. When I looked at him a little bit earlier on. But we'll see what Kaya is getting up to into the pit lane. And yeah, no front wing change. Set a medium compound tyres go on. And that is good stuff there from Kaya. He's out of the pit lane. Going to come out maybe behind Delphi if he's not careful. Felix Low on the back of Black Box for the second and third position. Kaya is behind Delphi coming out the pit lane. As Felix is on the back of Black Box running down the straight in towards turn number 8. And again, not quite close enough. But the sun is now out on track. Denzel leads the way by 2.5 seconds. And Mike, if that is crucial, if Denzo is going to try and commit that to the end of the race, that is a big gap to have around a track like this.
Yeah, it's a big gap to have, but see, those mediums, they will drop off at some point, and these hards will rapidly close back up on him. The question is, does he duck out this part on the set of the mediums now, or does he try and stretch it out? That's the question.
Yeah, definitely. And if I was in Denzel's shoes and I'd realised that those tyres weren't getting to the end, I would put in as soon as possible, ASAP, quite literally, because he's going to be down where, unfortunately, Kaya is and Yona is at this stage. He's going to be well down the field, possibly around Tom, Jerry, that sort of area. Tom and Jerry are together, by the way, out on track. Samu comments as though into pit lane. Samu has picked up a 3-second penalty, and I'm not sure if that was potentially... Oh, as Felix makes a huge mistake coming out of turn number 2. Big snap of oversteer on the exit of turn number 2, and Felix there in third, just about gets away with it. He's in the net second position if Denzel does decide to come in. If not, this is a battle for P3, and he's just at Lynx, potentially in for a freebie here.
Yeah, but as Lynx, he's getting close, about 4 tenths back. And also, I just want to bring out a very, fantastic cartoon. As you mentioned, Tom and Jerry just a moment ago together, and they are always together.
They are always together. I mean, Tom and Tim Tams are always together as well, but then again, we haven't got Tim.
No, Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry, that's the new one now. We've moved on for Tim, Tam and Tom.
Tom and Jerry, yeah. 8th and 9th position, both, of course, human cars as well. Not Tam, of course, it was an AI car further down the field. But Tom and Jerry are next to each other. They're on the same strategy call as well. Could be cat versus mouse, potentially.
Essentially, as Black Box taking wide lines here, and Felix, he's not closing in enough, but
Denzel's in.
Yeah,
Denzel's in. Yep, he's into the pit lane, and he lost 4 tenths per second through that final sector alone, and I was literally about to say, Denzel's beginning to lose time, I wonder if he comes in the pit lane, and exactly, literally, on my thinking, he has decided to come in the pit lane. Perfect stuff from Denzel. Where is he going to come out, though, out on track? If he comes out behind the Ferrari of Yona, he is laughing in terms of a free gap that he's got. And look where he's going to come out. He's going to come out in the Tom and Jerry battle. And actually, he's going to come out, I think, behind Yona, coming down in towards turn number 1. There is Yona on the inside line. And Yona risks it for a chocolate biscuit. And in the end, doesn't get the job done. It was purple at the final sector. Now Yona is serious. The Sergeant Cake spins just in front as well. But Yona now to the inside line. Shooty Denzel gives up this, and he does. Yona with a 3-second penalty. Didn't deserve that at all. Kai has picked up a 3-second penalty in the background as well. But Yona now through, and he's into 7. Denzel an 8. And Yona now could actually gap Denzel to a second if he's not careful here. Denzel could be perhaps in really big trouble here.
Yeah, as Jonah has actually managed to pick up DRS on Jerry up ahead of him, so Jonah not under any significant threat from Denzel right now, but these guys need to carve their way through this field as quickly as possible now if they want any hope of catching the likes of Felix, Black Box and Lynx up ahead.
Commenters, by the way, through on Dalphy. Breezy move down the straight in towards turn number 8 and 9. Beautiful job from Commenters. He is through and he's into 10th position. Black Box though leading the way. Felix in 2nd, Lynx in 3rd. And to be honest, with Jensen now obviously gone out of the championship picture, Tom obviously, Shazoo Tom not obviously been here tonight as well. Samu was spun in that middle sector. These are the front 3, I think, now in the championship race. That yellow flag is still out for Samu. He's got the car back going again, so that yellow flag goes. But these 3 were my expectation of the top 3 at the end of this race. And so far, not looking too bad. And by the way, Mike, how is Sten Roos 4th?
The hard compound strategy. I mean, he is in a bit of a no man's land, so he's managed to keep himself out of it since his early calamities, but on those hards, he is just running on his own right now. 10 seconds ahead of Tom in behind and 8 seconds behind Lynx up ahead.
He is. He's got 10 seconds to Yona, which I think is going to be his closest enemy towards the end of the race. But even then, 10 seconds around this track is impossible to gain. Even though Yona's been on as Samu retires into the pit lane, I think that is. Yeah, Samu into the pit lane retires. Yona, I think you were going all there in the background because I think Tom had a bit of a snap of oversteer coming out of turn 7. Yeah. Yona in the end capitalising that and he's into 5th.
Yep, and here comes Denzel now on the exit of the chicane, and he's just going to send it straight down the middle, straight down the inside, in towards turn 10. Simple as you like.
And the other Alfa Romeo Vajaki also getting through. He's up into 11th position as well. Doing a good job, these guys out on track. Samu, of course, has left the session. His car, at least, though, rarity to see on this game. At least his car's actually retired and stayed in the pit box, which I think is the only track that it ever does around here. It's the only track that ever stays in the pit box when you retire an AI car. And that is good, because we want to see the battle for the lead. Black Fox leads the way from Felix in 2nd, Lynx there in 3rd, Stenrys 8.6 seconds, Yona 8.6 seconds as well. The gap in between them. Jerry has came into the pit lane ahead of Tom, so Tom might come in the next lap around and then try and get his own back, and maybe even spring a rat trap as Kaya to the inside line of Ajaku. That was never going to work. He's got full wing damage. He is going to make his way into the pit lane in very audacious fashion. That, of course, is going to go down. He retires in the pit lane. He's not getting away with that because that was caught on stream. Kaya there, unfortunately, spins out of frustration, out of the race, and out of the session as well.
Yeah, and we could see a potential overtake for the lead here. Felix can get a good exit. No, he just can't get the exit there, but Denzo could potentially have a look at Jonah here with DRS.
Get Denzo on the back of Yona. Oh, absolutely sailed on by. My God almighty. He was literally shot out of a cannon to the inside of turn number 8. That was phenomenal. I think Yona, to be fair, broke very early for the corner. But still, it looked pretty easy. Denzo through and he's into 5th. Yona there in 6th. And Denzo almost as if it was a circus act down in towards turn 8. That was phenomenal. And actually, I know why this has happened. Yona's low on fuel. That's why he broke early.
Ooh,
There's your answer.
Yeah, Yona possibly thinking that the rain was going to stay a lot longer than what it is. That's the fuel save now. And we saw the Mercedes retire in the pits, but Kaya's car came out of the pits and retired on track. And the inconsistencies that we see in this game baffles me sometimes.
Yeah, the inconsistency, honestly, is absolutely key in terms of the racing. But Black Box leading the way. Lynx almost looks like he's getting onto the back. Tom, by the way, is in for set of softs. They're getting to the end of the race. And Jerry is miles behind, I think, coming out the pit lane here.
Felix.
Where is he?
He's using his ears.
It's Felix, yep, to the inside line, getting the job done, maybe down into the Mistral straight, and he does. Through into Chicane Nord and gets the job done, he's through, and he's into the lead of the race. But for how long? Black Box there has got more ERS than him, 12% more of ERS. Lynx has got 60%, around about the same level as Felix, 11% less than Black Box. So, Lynx, honestly, I think needs to get... He's in the same position as Black Box was in the first half of the race. Lynx now needs to use up that ERS just to try and get close to the back. He thinks he's quick enough. In the end, though, with mistakes like that, he might not be.
Yeah, he can't afford to make mistakes like that. He just got a little bit caught too much on the inside curve, and you can see how much time he lost immediately off of that. And for Lynx, he does need to get on his ERS. I think throughout the entire time that Felix was behind Black Box, neither were using the ERS, so they've just both gained tremendously. But now Black Box using ERS, I'm going to look into turn 1. No. Doesn't go for it though.
Yeah, I saw the fake on that down and towards, on the mini-map down and towards turn 1. I'm on board with Vajaku on the back of Dalfi, which is looking very close indeed. Cake as well on the back of Tom. Vajaku goes bit deep. I thought he was going in the pit lane there for some reason, but the Maltese man doing a good job there in 9th on his first return for a couple of weeks, in fact, with Jakku. And look at this, he's going to get a phenomenal one on Dalfi. Dalfi spat out like a very spatty out thing. Vajaku there through his into 8th, Dalfi there in 9th. That's the best I could think of in terms of that pun. Black Box still attacks Felix for the race lead again, and this is now trading blows. They're pulling away from Lynx as well. Felix still on the inside line, given no quarter given. Bit of contact, they're battling though, and Lynx all of a sudden is back into play. And look at this, he's using up the ERS down the straight, and do you know what? He might get Felix in towards turn number 10. This is perfect for the TF boys. Lynx gets through and he's into 2nd. Absolutely perfect. He might even attack for the race lead. Black Box in the lead, Lynx in 2nd, Felix in 3rd. It's literally what I was going to say on lap 13 of the race, now coming true on lap 21. The TF boys are now 1 and 2. They're now together, and now they can work together.
Yeah, and to be honest, even though they're both part of the same team, in terms of being part of Talent Factory, I'm not a fan of if you're on opposite teams working together in league racing, but if it works, it works.
But the thing is, though, Felix can complain, and he'd be like, well, they are working together, but Felix is still within the DRS train. He is still in this fight. If he was outside of a second, he would be absolutely fuming. But he's not. Black Box and Link are very fair racers. They know what they're doing out on track. I know Felix knows what they're doing as well. And look at this, Felix is now responding. Near enough purple first sector, I think this is going to be from Felix. Coming through that first sector split, 6/10 off in terms of his personal best. But in terms of lap times being set recently, that is purple for me in the first sector. Black Box though, Lynx in 2nd, Felix in 3rd. And once again they come down the Mistral straight down towards the chicane Nord. With Black Box leading the way, Lynx in 2nd, Felix in 3rd, and now begins to settle down Who has got the quickest car now, though? Is it the McLaren of Black Box, or is it the AlphaTauri of Lynx, or is it neither? Is it Felix in behind? All questions to be answered in the next 6 laps or so of this race, as Tom, on the back of Harry Banks, is looking quite interesting as well. He's done that set of soft compound tyres. They really don't last long around this track, so he's going to have to try and get this move done sooner rather than later. And do you know what? I think he might get the job done down the Mistral Straight. Certainly Vajaku is getting the Mistral Straight.
Vajaku almost having a look down the inside of comment this as Tom gets through and Harry B there, and up in the P10 goes the Alpine. Vajaku getting a little bit impatient being comment this now.
And speaking of impatient as well, Felix was looking impatient on the back of Lynx there, down in towards the final corner at turn 15 at Pond, coming out of Lack, of course, at turn number 14. The Black Box leads the way. Lynx there in second, Felix there in third, all beginning to spice up very nicely. We haven't had a safety car or VSC so far in this race, which I think will ruin it at this stage, because we have had phenomenal racing so far, and a majority of drivers out on track. Yes, there was lap 1, yes, there was wet conditions, yes, there was incidents, but in the end, there's been hardly any contact apart from, I think, Kaya and Jerry a little bit earlier on as well. Jacko on the back of comments again looks to the inside of turn number 1, not getting quite close enough, but it has been phenomenal racing out on track. And this is probably, I've got to say, the best race between the F1 and F2 merge, I think, since we actually merged them, which is really good.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that one. Even though I missed out a couple of laps through the intermediate phase, but definitely been the best racing in the dry conditions I've seen through the merger.
No, you missed nothing. You missed nothing when you went. I think Jerry spun. That was about as much fun as we got when you went. Good job you're here now, though, for the final 4 laps of this race. We better go on to the final 4 laps as Vajaku attacks comments list. Bit aggressive, and I think actually the Maltese man is going to let him back through. No, I'm not sure what's going on. Dalfie's getting a bird's eye view of this, though, running up the hill. Felix Smalloway's running on the back of Lynx, who's made a mistake out the final corner, or at the final couple of corners, in fact. And now Comment is back up the inside of Vajaku. They're leaning each other slightly. There was hardly any contact between them both there. And now Comments has tried to dive it down the inside line. WRC Instinct down the inside line, trying to get the job done. Bit of wheel banging there, off camber of the corner. And in the end, Vajaku hanging out Comments to dry. It's a fair battle, but it's getting a little bit over-aggressive.
Dalfie in the mix now as well, almost pushing Comment, let's say, into the braking zone, and he's going to stick in behind, but Dalfie was poking his nose in there, trying to have a little look, see if he can make a move.
He was indeed. Commences with a bit of a weave on coming out the final corner, probably remonstrating there at Vajaku, saying, what on earth are you doing? Aggressively defend like that, and I will aggressively attack you. That is what the Commencer is thinking there is, as Lynx is on the back of Black Box for the race lead again. Lap 24 out of 27. Nothing has really happened in terms of safety calls of ESCs or in terms of incidents, apart from that near collision with Vajaku and Commensalist. But Black Box leading the way from Lynx in second. Felix there in third, doing a phenomenal job. On to the final 3.5 laps we go. The final roughly around 17 kilometres from this point, and Black Box still hanging on. But it's not looking that assured, because Lynx on parts of the track is looking quicker. Felix through this final sector is looking quicker than both of them, and they're all cancelling each other out, even though Black Box has got significantly more ERS.
I mean, Felix is actually on the most ERS out of these three at the moment. He's all over the back of Lynx. If he can just get a good exit, you could have a look into turn 1, and he just can't get the exit of that final corner, can he?
Yeah, Felix has got, Lynx has got significantly less, as you mentioned, 38% there for Lynx, 73% for Felix, and Black Box has got the most out of the top 3, and that is 78% coming out of turn number 2. Felix, though, on the back of Lynx is going to try and look for this race move, and this is actually a championship fight between them both. Second and third, Lynx and Felix. Lynx currently outscoring Felix would put him in the championship lead at this point. So this is crucial. This could be championship defining later on in the season. Black Box leads the way. Lynx there in second. Lynx pulls away down the straight and now uses up that ERS. Is Felix quick enough in a straight line? Closing in. I don't think he's going to be close enough, and he's not. Lynx, however, is the back of Black Box, and Felix, oh my god, nearly goes into the back of him.
Yeah, Felix does well there to avoid the back of Lynx, and he is going to lose out a little bit, but honestly, now in behind the top three, we got a battle for P4 going on now with Jonah and Denzel on the back of Stern Ross.
Yeah, Stenries has done a phenomenal job in the end, though. Those hards are really beginning to go off. You can see the blistering on the rear right. There's Denzel now. Bit of blistering occurring on the front right, actually, from Denzel. He's going to be careful in terms of his tyres. He's not going to be careful in terms of this move, though. To the inside line of turn number 10 and 11. Now into the left under turn number 12. Stenries still defending to the inside line. To be fair, puts him in a really good position, gets a really good switchback. Yona as well gets a really good switchback. And now there could be three down in toward Lackham Pont at 10, 14 and 15. Stenries goes deep though, and that was beautiful from Denzo. That was absolutely stunning from Denzo. That is him on much fresher compound tyres. That is him through his into fourth. But for how long? Stenries has got so much battery to use up. He's coming back at him down the straight. And look at this for down in towards turn 1. Denzo though moves across on him, I think slightly. I'm not sure if he got caught in a bump there coming out the pit lane, but Denzel there in fourth, Stenries in fifth, and if that was a slight move across, that might get looked into.
Yeah, potentially, as Jonah right now on the back, he is hoping that these two battle and make mistakes, because obviously with his penalties right now, he's hoping that these guys pick up a couple of the penalties themselves.
He is indeed, as Black Box still leads the way from Lynx in second, Felix in third. I've got to be honest, it looks as if the top three are sorted. Top four isn't sorted though, as now Stenries dives it to the inside line of Denzel. Denzel again to the inside line, just about holds swing, gets the position. So Denzel back through and he's into fourth. And now Yona gets the really good run, coming up the hill and towards turn number 10. Has he got the run though? Stenries could be boxed in here to the outside line of turn number 10. Denzel changes line, fair enough to him. And Yona's still there on the inside line of Stenries. To the inside line now of turn number 11, trying to get the job done. And Yona has got the job done. Beautiful stuff from Yona. Goes a bit deep on exit, but that is job done. Stenries' tyres beginning to let go. Black Box still leads the way. Lynx in second, Felix in third as they begin to embark on the final lap. And Black Box now, for the first time really in the last 10 laps, just seems to have a stranglehold on the race.
Yeah, Black Box now, obviously, final lap, he hasn't got much.
Oh! We've got Tom versus Jerry! Tom versus Jerry down at the back end of the field, and Jerry's passed on Tom. Great
there
stuff.
is a Tom and Jerry episode there with a cake involved, I am assured you of that, and that is what we're seeing right now.
Is there a one with the banks involved as well, down in 13th? No, I don't think there is, but still, Black Box leads the way. Lynx in second, Felix in third, that is it, and he picks up a 3-second penalty, just for good measure as well. He got caught on the inside curb at turn number 6, out of turn number 7 in fact, and Felix there down in third. He is not going to be winning this race now. It's between the TF boys, but whatever the plan is, whether it's a TF plan 1-2 or not, it has worked out to absolute perfection in the end. Black Box leading the way, Lynx in second. I normally disagree with drivers working together in terms of a team, but they've worked together in the fairest possible manner. And this is what really brings about a big change of a difference as Felix looks to the inside line. Oh my god, a turn number 11, tries to get the job done to the inside line. That was his last chance, however, as we've absolutely flown through this race. It hasn't even felt like an hour we've been commentating, but it has. Cake on the back, Jerry on the back of Cake as well, further down the field. Mike's going to have a look at that one, I'm sure. But Black Box now coming through the final couple of corners on the run towards the line. Black Box is back and back in fine fettle to the line, takes the win from Lynx there in second. Felix there in third. He will keep that position no matter the penalty. Delphi, I think you were mentioning, trying to go around the outside of the comments, is at turn 11.
I had a look at the inside at turn 11, Delphi, but unable to pull it off, and I think that's going to be how it's going to end up unless we see any lunges into the final corner. Hopefully not, because that would be disastrous. So, oh my god, Jerry!
If he lunged that there, honestly, suicide would have been written all over the Aston Martin. That was honestly death-defying, potentially, in terms of that. Delphi, by the way, dropping down in 12th position in the end. That is the end of the French Grand Prix. What a thrilling French Grand Prix it was as well. I wish we came back here more often to France. It is a fantastic track for racing. And in the end, drop the day award by the in-game fans is Yona. Absolutely deserved since his qualifying performance. Absolutely deserved in terms of the drive today award by the in-game fans. Black Box, though, the final lap of the race was where he really sealed the deal. 9/10 of a second coming out the final corner, was never going to be pegged back. And in the end, had a stranglehold from the front. If TF boys, we're going to ask this, I'm sure, if they do want interviews, if the TF boys were working together, it was worked to absolute perfection in the end. But in perfection, Felix there in third still was in that battle, never outside of a second in that battle. That was fair racing. Felix might not like that. I certainly appreciated what they did. And Black Box in the end takes the win from Lynx in second. And what this does, crucially, Lynx now the championship leader.
Yeah, that is a big result for Lynx, and yeah, Felix may feel a bit hard done by that, and it is what it is. In terms of league racing, I don't particularly like to see it. I like to see it in team events, but not league racing. But it is what it is. But that's just my personal opinion on it.
Yeah, definitely so, as Black Box took the win. Lynx there in second from 7th on the grid. I did say watch out for him in this race, to be fair. And to be fair, he's finishing second. Great stuff from him. Felix there in third from Denzo in fourth. Sten Roos potentially drive the day, I think. Underdog performance there from him in fifth, considering he was down at the back of the field at the end of lap 1. Yona there in sixth. Vijaku in seventh. Yona, by the way, picked up the fastest lap of the race as well, so he'll get an extra point for that. Commentus there in eighth. Sergeant Cake in ninth. Tom ran off the top 10. Then Jerry in 11th. Harry in 12th. Delphi there in 13th. Tam in 14th. Unfortunately, had to go, of course, as a result of that medical emergency. Kaya, Samu, Blacks in the end. DNF at various points out on track. No safety cars of ESCs, but we did have an Andreas retiring at the end of the first lap, which was really, really shameful indeed. Felix in the end saying two things. First of all, saying his game didn't show him when he got warning, so we'll have to factor that in from the steward's perspective. Second thing, Felix's tyres were an 82%, Lynx's tyres were an 80%.
So that could have gone very disastrous for them at the end.
It could have been really another lap or two. They would have been gone. They would have been punctured, definitely, out on track. As
I mean, if they fighted anymore, if they were fighting a bit more often, I reckon they would have been a puncher.
Yeah, definitely so. I'm gonna ask. Oh, Black Box has literally just asked the same question. Are they wanting interviews? Yes, they are, I believe. But I'm going to ask the top 3 if they do want interviews. But there we are. Black Box does want interviews, so I'm now going to swiftly invite them in, which means I'm going to go blue screen. I was going to say I'm going to go Black Box for a second there, but I'm going blue screen instead. I'll get the 3 of them in. I know Felix normally speaks to us. It would help if after he spelled Lynx's name right. Perfect. The thing is though, you're coming across absolutely fine on my end. Absolutely fine. There's no lag at all. Yeah. No, you were absolutely fine on my end. We will persevere as long as the interviewees can hear you. That's the main thing. We'll ask them before we get into things, but they have been now invited into the party on PlayStation. Hopefully they don't do on the Discord call, and I expect the chats to be on Discord. Otherwise, I'm not going to be there, and I'm not going to interview them, that's for certain. I know Black Box's mic certainly came through there. I think he might have actually just joined. Has he?
Yeah, both Felix and Black Box have joined.
See, they're not getting notifications of warnings. I'm not getting notifications of actually coming up in the party. So this is going to have to be very, very strange indeed. It means that I'm going to have to go quickly blue screen. In fact, we have got all 3 of them here, which is very good. And we can now speak, of course, to the man who finished in P1. He was never in doubt, I think, on that final lap. It was, of course, Black Box. And Black Box, welcome back to TML F1.
Your reigning champion is back, James. How do you feel?
Really, really glad. Honestly, I was expecting you to be down in the top 5 potentially, but you showed that pace. Second half of the race was absolutely
down
crucial.
In the top 5. Nah, your champion's back, man. I never lost it. I did my exams. I've done so many things in between. I let Tom and Jensen race, and they both scored nothing. I'm back, and I've come back with a win, and I've helped my young friend Lynx secure a P2 as well. So I want to just ask him, how does he feel being the championship leader, taking my championship away from me? because I want to see how long that lasts. But yeah, GG to Lynx as well, and Felix won. His wings were incredible today. The guy's top speed was crazy, and he kept his car under control the whole race. So, GG to him. Him, and yeah.
Now I've got to ask the question: was that 1-2 planned from a TF perspective? Because to me, it looked like it.
No, it wasn't. To be honest, it was a last-minute plan. So me and Lynx were in the party like throughout the race, but he didn't expect himself to be up there. He was crying about his qualifying performance. I laughed at him, and then I don't know, he pulled it together somehow. So we thought it was a good idea to, you know, it was in our best interest to finish ahead of Felix. So there's no stewards, you know, inquiries or anything like that. It's nothing like nothing illegal. It was just I felt like giving slipstream to an opponent on the grid. So.
Yeah, I mean, from my perspective, there was nothing malicious in that at all. It was just literally teammate helping teammate. Felix was never outside of a second as well, so even if he did have the pace, he would have still been there anyways. And it was phenomenal to watch. You three guys were absolutely going at it. I think it was lap 21, 22, where the moves were getting made. Felix, of course, then dropped behind about 6-7 tenths per second. From that point onward, was the game plan to literally run first and second, Lynx to get second, and then for him to take the championship lead, which he has done?
Yeah, to be honest, Lynx's heartbeat was going crazy. He was panicking a bit because of his tyre. I don't think he was thinking about anything. His tyre pressures were through the roof. Sorry, his tyre wear. My tyre pressures were a bit higher. Somehow I kept my tyres a bit more, you know, under control with the wear. So it wasn't a struggle for me. So I tried to make sure Lynx got there, but. Yeah, can I just say another thing? Right.
Yep, go on.
Jensen and Tom, absolute chickens. Absolute chickens. I waited to come back to beat them, and then they've not joined. What's going on? But yeah, no. I don't want to take anything away from Lynx here as well. So yeah, GG to Lynx, GG to Felix 1, and I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, certainly never lost it, I'm sure. I thought, honestly, the exams would have took a bit of a toll on you in terms of mentally and physically, but in the end, you never lost it in that race. You were phenomenal from the front, of course, taking that race win as well. Mike, I'm going to come across to you. Hopefully they can hear you. Any questions?
Yeah, I do have one question. It's about the mock exams. I'm wondering, was France involved in the mock exams at all?
No, to be honest. I was doing Challenger Series today. I was doing the Challenger Series event all day today. No practice for France, no France studying, no France practice, no nothing. So, but also I just want to say to yourself, I really appreciate you commentating alongside James, and yeah, we love your commentary, the Welsh King. So yeah, thank you for commentating.
The Welsh King. You love to hear it, love to hear it. Someone clip that, send it to George Morgan.
No, clip that and send it to Prince William, for goodness sake. Goodness me, he might be coming for the Prince of Wales role at this stage as Mike. But honestly, we've obviously got a break week next week, Black Box, but the week after that, I'm just going to get the calendar up very quickly indeed. The week after that, when it decides to load on my end, which it isn't, so I'm just going to have to wait a second. It will come, I promise you that. But of course, as I say, we do have a break week next week. And oh, there we go. We are in Zandvoort in 2 weeks' time. How do you think you're going to get on around there if you're racing?
Well, I mean, even though my PSGO luck was terrible this year again, I won at Zandvoort this year, so my Zandvoort pace is pretty good. Lynx will be good there because he's on the pad, so we'll be here at it again. Jerry will be in the mix. Denzo will be in the mix. Everyone will be there ready to get the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for TF. So yeah, good luck to Felix 1.
A TF dominated result potentially at their home track, of course, as well, which should be very interesting indeed. But Black Box, go and enjoy your evening.
Thank you, James. Thank you. You too.
You are very welcome indeed. We can now speak to the man who is the new TML F1 Championship leader, finishing there in second. Of course, it is Mr. Lynx. And Lynx, in the end, those final 2 laps of the race were a little bit off cuff because you were losing time to Black Box. Felix was then gaining back at you. Were you worried that Felix was going to come at you on the final lap of the race?
I mean, I had the ERS like at a decent level, and I had the DRS from Black Box. The only issue was the tyres. I think I have way more tyre wear than both of the others. I think I was like 80, 81, something like that. So I was just praying not to get a puncture. I think Black Box said he was like 65 or something, which I was like, what? Must just be pad things. So yeah, the last 2 laps I was only worried about getting a puncture really, because I was in the DRS and I had enough ERS to defend. So yeah, it was a bit scary.
A bit scary. Felix, though, I think had 2% more 2% more in terms of tyre wear than you. He was, I think, on 82. Or were you on 82% and he was on 80?
It was something like that. It was like 80 on the front and like 83 on the rear or something. It was something around that.
Yeah, which is mad to be honest, because obviously you wouldn't think France is a very high wearing track, but because of the high speed, because of the flat out corners as well, it does take that bearing load on the tyres. So with that in mind, obviously, Felix did pick up that 3-second penalty late on as well. Where for you did you realise that you were going to get that second position and then, of course, take that championship lead?
I mean, I was always third in the train, and I was kind of just waiting for them to attack each other and then like drain their energy and like get distracted and forget I was there, which kind of worked. Going into the quick right, I was able to take advantage and then get in ahead. And then once I knew I had the DRS from Black Box as well, with my ERS, I knew I was able to stay ahead. So yeah, and then obviously when he got the penalty, I think it was on the last lap, it was obviously I could just relax a little bit because my tyres were dead, so I could just chill for a little bit. Obviously, if he could remove the penalty, I was still trying to defend in certain areas, but the pressure wasn't as bad on that last lap when he got the penalty.
Yeah, I don't think that with the penalty anyways, I know he was saying it was a game issue potentially, so he might get that investigated by the stewards, of course, if he does want to. But in the end, 3-second penalty is not going to make a difference. He's not going to jump ahead of you. You're going to be championship leader going into the break week, so that must make you feel very, very good about yourself.
Yeah, it's like a meme with like, how's a penguin ended up in America? Like, how have I ended up on the top of the driver's standings? I have no idea. We'll see how long I stay there. You never know. Arsenal are currently top of the Premier League when everyone thought they'd fall, so we'll see if I fall.
I mean, Felix probably would be the same thing as well. He'd probably have the same opinion about that as well. But Mike, any questions?
You'd be expecting your Toms and Jensens and obviously Black Box, but he's kind of bottling this season, so you'd expect them 3 to be up top, but no, it's me.
It's that excuse of the mock exams, that's what that is.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't even have mock exams, probably. Ha 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 ha.
Terrible. No, mock exams are very important, even though I failed GCSE maths and I got a 3-year degree in computer science. So there you go. Things are possible if you put your mind to it. Like things are possible, Mr. Michael Edwards, any questions?
I do have a question for Lynx at the start. Obviously, a bit of calamities were happening right in front of you. Was that heart-in-mouth moments at the start?
Yeah, no, I got a really good start, and then I was on the inside. I was like, okay, if I just break a bit early and just let it unfold, and then 3 cars just blew up right in front of me. I was like, how did I not get collected in that? So I think I was like P6, and then one they all crashed. It was just all clear road to P3. I was like, oh, I'll take this. So yeah, no, it was a bit scary because they all just came in front of me straight away. So very lucky, but you know, I'll take that.
Yeah, so it definitely looked like you just managed to navigate your way through the skin of your teeth there.
Yeah, I definitely took the right way around the track there.
Yeah, absolutely, and obviously, and under the intermediate conditions, obviously, after the calamities at the start, now you was a little bit off both Felix and Black Box initially. Did you think that when it started to dry up, that he was always going to get back into it?
I mean, yeah, I was in the party before, like with all the TF guys, and if it rains, I'm going to be last. Because there's no feeling on the controller in the rain. You kind of just have to drive, like, looking at the dash with, like, the green bar, pretty much. You get no force feedback. So when I saw the rain, I was sure it was, like, for 10 minutes. I was like, okay, that's good. And then in the dry, and then my pace was really good, so I was able to catch back up to them on the early stages of the hard, so it was just more trying to stick with them as close as I could in the wet, because I knew I'd be able to catch them up again on the in the dry.
Okay, great stuff. James?
Final question for me, obviously, break week next week, and then, of course, Zandvoort the week after. How do you think you're going to get on around Zandvoort, knowing that you are, of course, the championship leader?
I mean, Zandvoort's always been one of my favourite tracks, that with Silverstone, but Silverstone's fallen off in this game, but Zandvoort's still pretty good, so I want to try and win at that track. It's probably one of my strongest tracks, like, on the game, so, you know, that's the target. But obviously a podium will be nice.
Yeah, podium would be nice. I think outscoring Felix will be the first thing on your mind.
Oh yeah, of course,
and
that, yeah. Of course. But obviously I want to try and win at that track, so I do love that track.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens.
Zandvoort is a good track, and I'd be arguing, and I'm going to say it's not really a good track for racing, because there's only one straight for the moves. But even...
No, it's horrible for racing, but to drive is really nice, it's satisfying.
Yeah, once you get a lap hooked up around there, it is probably one of the best tracks on the game, and probably one of the best tracks on the game that hopefully is not going to deliver us any issues in 2 weeks' time as well. Lynx, though, go and enjoy your evening.
Thank you.
You are very welcome indeed, and we will now speak to the man who finished in P3 and unfortunately now is second in the championship. It is Mr. NLR Felix Warren, and Felix, that 3-second penalty came back to bite you quite literally just when I think you were about to attack him down and towards turn number 1.
Well, yeah, I had no idea I even had a penalty. I noticed it halfway through the final lap that I had a penalty. I never got the notification that I even got warnings, which was a bit annoying. Yeah, so I wasn't really even aware to watch out for... I thought on the last lap I could just go for it and maybe take a warning, because I only had... I was aware of one, which I got during the intermediate stint, and after that I got nothing. So I thought I was on one, and I could allow myself to go wide somewhere and gain a little bit of time to maybe make that move a little bit easier. And I guess that's what got me the penalty in the end.
Yeah, which was unfortunate, and as I say, the top 3 battle was phenomenal as that race went on. Of course, you were making moves lap 21, lap 22, I think it was, on Lynx. Black Box as well was involved in that. And the battle between you 3, I think, was very hard, but very, very fair as well.
Yeah, I think it was very fun. Obviously, a bit disappointed with the outcome. I think I had a good chance to win that race. Especially early on in the hard stint when I first passed Black Box and was I had him out of DRS like just about a couple of times, and he just about got back in when Denzo was in front of us on the mediums, and he was pulling me along. And if I just gotten that little, like 1/10 more in one of those laps that I almost had him out of DRS, I probably could have run away and won the race, but. Yeah, I also burned a bit too much ERS while doing that, which then cost me later on and got me down to P3 and stuck behind Lynx, not able to attack Black Box. Yeah, a bit disappointed not to have won that race, and only end up in P3 really.
Yeah, still though, I think it was a very good drive from your perspective. You were still there, you were obviously trying to fight them as best as you can, even with that 3-second penalty to the end of the race, but still at P3. Obviously disappointing, but I think it's probably one of the best results you could have got out of that situation as well. Mike, any questions?
I just have the one, obviously, since the merger, obviously, between the F2 and F1, how are you enjoying now going up against these juggernauts from F1 with the no assist now? How are you feeling about going toe to toe with them on track?
Yeah, it's great. I don't often get the chance. Of course, most leagues at this level don't allow line, which disqualifies me from competing in most events and leagues. Yeah, it's great. I think to challenge myself in that way and go up against the very best on the platform.
Yeah, great stuff. And obviously, at the end, obviously, Black Box giving a little bit of a helping hand to Lynx to put you under a bit of pressure and help you out with giving him just a little bit. So, how was you feeling in that moment?
I honestly, I hadn't even considered that, I hadn't thought about it. To me, there was nothing... no, I didn't even notice much team play, to be honest. I thought they were just... It looked more like Black Box was just about far enough away from Lynx to keep P1 and Lynx couldn't attack him. I guess they did end up doing some team play, which is fair enough. I'd probably have done the same if I had another Louder with me up there. Yeah, nothing to say about that.
Oh, I want the controversy. I want to spice things up. Alright, James, back over to you, bud.
Well, we're definitely not getting any controversy under my watch, that's absolutely sure. Unless, of course, that 3-second penalty does get removed and then he puts in a report of a 5-second penalty for something else. Who knows? Who knows what could happen? But
I will definitely be checking those pit entries. You never know.
Pit entries, yeah. There were some pretty bad ones further down the field, let me put you that way. So there's already a couple that's going to be getting into the stewards' reports, even if I report them myself, which I'm probably not going to make friends if I do. But there was, of course, that further down the field as well. But, of course, we go to Netherlands 2 weeks' time. How do you think you're going to get on around there?
I honestly don't know. Zandvoort is a weird track for me. I've had really, really bad races. I've had really good races around Zandvoort. So I'm not sure where my pace will be. I guess I'll just turn up and see where I end up. Really, I don't know what to expect.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting one to see. I'm absolutely sure. But congratulations on the P3. Certainly not the result I'm sure you were expecting towards the end. But go and enjoy evening.
Yeah, thank you. You as well, of course.
You are very welcome indeed, and that rounds us off very neatly indeed for tonight in TML F1 for Season 9 and Round 5 in France. We hope you enjoyed the stream. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, tick that notification bell, of course, if you're brand new for tomorrow. If you didn't see the news a little bit earlier on, unfortunately, I'm not going to be here tomorrow night for TML F2. I've suddenly got a better, well, do I say a better league even though I'm in charge of it? Yeah, a better commentary opportunity in WR, top tier console comms is what I'm going to be doing tomorrow night. So unfortunately, Mike for now is going to be by himself. I'm going to try and find a replacement though for myself as well. So there is 2 commentators, of course, alongside each other tomorrow night in TML F2. But the F2 racing should be quite good, Mike, and hopefully it does spawn to be very good racing out on track. I thought we just got spammed there for a second on the stream, but we don't. But it should be good action anyways tomorrow night in F2.
Yeah, hopefully F2 will follow suit with the racing that we've seen tonight in F1. Very close and very good battles up and down the grid. And of course, as it stands, I'm on my own, so you know what that means, guys. It's banter session. That's what it means.
Banter session. Well, I'll be watching the stream back certainly, and if he pees off any of the drivers, then you know why Mike will be going missing the week after. But there we are. That rounds us off, as I say, very neatly indeed. If you did enjoy the stream, like, comment, subscribe, tick that notification bell, of course, if you're if you're brand new for the channel. No racing next week, by the way, as well, for EML and TML. We're both on a break week. However, break week, we're going to be sorting out the standings. We're also going to be sorting out the track vote for round number 9 of the championship, which will be driver induced. I'm going to talk to comments. Let's see how we're going to do that in the background. I'm assuming we're just going to pick 3 tracks and let you guys choose, but hopefully we don't want to do that. I want to try and give you as best free reign as possible, and if anybody puts Monaco, I swear I'm going to come for you. I really will. But there we are.
What about Japan?
Yeah, Japan's not too bad. Japan's not too bad. I can cope with Japan. Singapore's already on there, so it can't be Singapore. So they've already got me absolutely cursing at them for 1 race of the season at least, which is Singapore. But anyways, that track vote will of course come both for F1 and F2. That will be released of course in due course, probably next week I would imagine. But that answers up very neatly indeed. Thank you to Mike for joining me in the comment box as always, much appreciated. Thank goodness I've got through the stream as well personally, because I haven't been well today. Hopefully though I'll be better tomorrow, and hopefully everything will go according to plan in F2. Thank you though so much for watching, and until next time, in 2 weeks time in the Netherlands, goodbye.